Why are veterans forgotten? These are men and women who write a blank check to protect strangers. And then they're promised all of these things while they're serving. They're promised services, healthcare, and once they're discharged or retire, it seems like it's a different story. Out of any group or niche of human being in our country that deserves proper treatment, proper healthcare, proper housing, why am I sending $300 Instacarts to veterans who have no groceries? Now, I work with veterans day in and day out. I talk to thousands and thousands of vets. It is very rare that I hear, yes, my healthcare is perfect, or yeah, it was easy to get 100% disability. Why is that? My company, on a daily basis, we save veterans money off of educating them. Why is it so hard to deliver proper information to someone who is willing to get doused in Agent Orange or go stand next to burn pits? And how is it that any veteran is homeless? Take all the homeless veterans out there. They should have their own freaking homeless castle. Once that uniform comes off, you've got nobody explaining anything to you at the VA when you leave. It took my best friend 12 years to get 100% disability, and he had the same conditions the entire 12 years. It's not like things progressively got worse. So why didn't it just happen? Now we've got insurance programs that have the VA taking in premiums for 2 years and there's no coverage given. The VA is raking in premium after premium after premium from our vets, but not offering the coverage until year 3. 72,000 jobs at the VA cut. Where's the money going? I was at the grocery store this morning. I see a vet with a cart half full. Walk up to the man, shake his hand, thank him for his service, and I tell him, I'm gonna pay for your groceries today. His first words to me were, you're the first person in like 5 years that has offered me help. That is a problem. To all the veterans out there, more power to you, because I talk to those vets too on a daily basis. I just talked to a veteran today. He's crushing it. Still doesn't mean there's no PTSD, because that man went through hell. Maybe he paid more attention to the paperwork. Maybe he read more emails. Maybe he got on the VA website and did a little studying. But when a vet goes to the VA and he sees a doctor or she sees a doctor, and then the next time they go back to the VA and they see a doctor, it's a different doctor. If you want to know the truth, I honestly think people just don't care. I drop off fresh white t-shirts, boxers, and socks and all that stuff to a program down the road called the Starlight Program. I live in the world of recovery. I've been clean and sober for a very long time. And where I got clean and went to detox, there's a program called the Starlight Program. Starlight is a program that has veterans with substance or alcohol issues, mental health. It's a program for them where they can go get clean. Now, we drop off fresh tees, boxer socks, the whole nine. It's just a little bit of hope. I'm just some normal civilian that understands and has the perspective of what it's like to be homeless, what it's like to lose kids. I've got PTSD, but not from getting shot at. I got PTSD from watching a lot of people die, drugs, not bullets. You know, when I talk to a woman vet who says she's got more PTSD from what happened to her at boot camp than when her best friend's head popped off from a gunshot, 33,000 homeless veterans on the streets. That's the size of the town that I live in. 17 veterans a day commit suicide. How many of these vets are committing suicide due to the lack of necessary healthcare, therapy, medicine, guidance? You can't just expect the person to fix it on their own. The government recruits these men and women. They were supposed to just serve at the snap of a finger. They can't go get a doctor's appointment at the snap of a finger. Can't pay for funerals. VA, if you're 100% disabled, it's gonna kick in maybe $2,000 for a burial. Headstone, plot, okay. When a veteran tells me, oh no, the VA is gonna bury me for free. Unless the vet is killed in action, the family's paying for the funeral. They're not paying for the casket you're in. They're not paying for the transportation to get you there, and they're not paying for the ceremony. And the family's only gonna get a little tiny reimbursement. Now, just think of that at its rawest form. Unless the vet is killed in action, the family's paying for the funeral. Ooh, they take a couple $1,000s off. Woohoo! bro, shot at. You've got 1 in 5 vets who served in Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia diagnosed with PTSD. How about all the veterans that aren't even diagnosed with PTSD? But a lot of vets just don't even want to speak up. And that's unfortunate. It's almost like they don't want to get involved in the system because they know somebody who's gone through hell inside the system. I've talked to vets where it's like, hey, sir, do you have a disability rating through the VA? No, I don't. I don't even feel like dealing with the headache. Sir, do you realize you could probably get some monthly income for your family? Yeah, that'd be nice and all, but I don't feel like dealing with the VA. Veterans that I talk to, and they're like, if I were 18 now and asked to serve, there's no way in hell I would do it. That's a very powerful statement. We need to do better as a country. We need to do better as a community for our local vets. If you're ever feeling like crap, go volunteer. Go sponsor some breakfasts at the VFW. Go see what you can do at an American Legion. Go to a food bank. Productivity kills depression and anxiety. You're looking at a person who has helped over 20,000 veterans. They need help. And I know that we can help them for those who served. I actually talked to a lot of spouses as well. One of the biggest things is lack of help with the transition. But I was speaking with a deputy commissioner at a VA, and basically he was telling us that when you get discharged or retire, you got all these resources to go talk to. When I asked veterans, hey, when you got discharged, were they ever going to tell you this, or did they tell you anything about that? And they're like, no one said anything. So is that on the vet or is that on us? Here's a perfect example. When veterans serve, they have life insurance called SGLI, Service Group Life Insurance. When they get discharged or retire, they can convert SGLI to VGLI, Veterans Group Life Insurance. It's a private market prudential policy. This is a term coverage that increases in price every 5 years. If you're 40, anywhere up to the age of 65, the coverage is okay. But every 5 years, the price goes up. Now, I spoke to a veteran. He was paying $2,300 a month for his life insurance. Do you think he's going to keep paying that? They're pulling that out of his disability. Now, he's in a tough spot because he's sick. He's got cancer. And because he has cancer, he can't get any decent coverage on the private market. Nothing that's going to compare to his VGLI. So he is now stuck paying that money monthly to hold on to life insurance. That's criminal in my mind. And the new plan from the VA, hey, no coverage for 2 years, but we'll take your premiums. So I talked to my best friend's dad, who's a Vietnam veteran. And we have conversations all the time because he got addicted to opiates while he was in Vietnam. This is where Frank Lucas, frickin' American gangster, rode frickin' little canoes into the middle of the jungle and came home with kilos of heroin that were going into caskets of dead soldiers. He said it almost seemed like it was on purpose. There was heroin everywhere, and it was dirt cheap. When they got home, you had a bunch of vets that were addicted to opiates. And supposedly there were programs and methadone this. None of it was there. Nothing. So then what do you have? Everything goes out the window when you're withdrawing from opiates. Being a veteran doesn't matter. Being a lawyer doesn't matter. Being a police officer doesn't matter. Being the Pope doesn't matter. You need to get high so you don't feel like crap. When the Vietnam vets came home, they were hated. People hated them. Now they're looking for services. Now they're looking to not feel like crap. And now no one is here. So it's like, oh, okay. I just went and got shot at. I went and saw my buddy fall into a pit that had spikes covered in feces. And I can't get a little cup of methadone to help me with my substance problem that I picked up at the war that you sent me to. I would love to talk to you guys because my company, Timeless Protection, we protect vets. Look it up. Google Timeless Protection. We are here to take one of the worst subjects in the world, which is life insurance. Veterans deserve to go out in a damn prideful and honorable way. I hear vets all the time. Just burn me and put me in a pine box. Hey, I'm going to be cremated, or put me into shotgun shells and shoot me at my ex-wife. Creative. But if they don't know about these products or they're not educated on certain plans, they're going to waste money. Does any consumer need to waste money? No. Vets are at the top of that list. Do they deserve to pay $2,000 a month for life insurance? Absolutely not. Do they deserve to have proper guidance and therapy for PTSD and mental health issues? Yes. Should it be more open that MST, military sexual trauma, is dealt with? Yes. We've got to step in and help. We've helped over 20,000 veterans, which has basically let us save $8+ million for vets in insurance premiums. It's got to come more from private organizations than the government. If I have to send an Instacart to a vet because his daughter is in the house with her child, his granddaughter, and they have no food, and he's sick, she's sick, baby sitting there, no diapers, nothing, I'll work 24/7, 7 days a week to help that vet all day long. I understand my freedom, that I am here right now because of the sacrifice that that man with no groceries, no health care, no disability, he gave up his time, energy, and sacrifice for us, willing to get shot at and killed. Social media, the internet, this is how we talk to our vets, and this is how we help as many as we can. This is an underserved, underappreciated community. No government help. Jobs are being cut. Veterans are homeless. Veterans are committing suicide. Veterans are getting scammed. We're doing our part, and we're going to grow, and we're going to grow, and we're going to grow. And we catch flack all the time because we have to run ads that say insurance and veterans in the same ad. Talk to us before you make an assumption, because I guarantee you once you talk to us, you're going to see very quickly that it's not what you think it is. You're going to get educated more on the phone with us than you ever are on the phone with anyone from the VA. And I'm willing to take all of the crap that comes along with it from the crazies to help out my vets, the vets that understand, the vets that give us a shot and see who we are and what we've done for our vets. We help vets on a daily basis. We educate and advocate for them. We're just going to keep pumping out content and helping veterans. I could care less about my personal history and my story. That's kind of what I was doing on my channel. Now it's all about our vets. So the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more you comment, the more you can help us help veterans, guys. So you never know, right? Click the like, hit the bell, hit the follow, help us out. Grateful and humble, and we appreciate you guys. The more you hit the like, subscribe, the more vets we can help. I'm going to continue to make some content. Vets should not be forgotten about, guys. We'll get more in depth with this stuff. I love you guys. Good night, and thank you, veterans, for your service.